Assalamualaikum, bonjour. You're watching Hijabae in the City with me, Hana Ismail.
And me, Sarah Hildebrand. You know, I live miles away from my dad.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
She lives. He lives in the States, right?
Yeah, he's in America, so I'm in Malaysia.
It's like a day trip.
It takes a day. Literally,
Yeah.
if I leave today, I will reach there today.
Yes.
And then if I leave there today, I will get here. I think I'll miss a day. I'll get here like tomorrow or something, but I'll definitely skip a day.
But why you guys live so far away?
Well, my parents divorced when I was 9,
okay.
and ever since then, like I followed my mom. I'm the only child, so I followed my mom here, and I lived with him briefly for 3 years,
Okay.
and then I moved back here for work. And so ever since then, like I'm just far from my dad. Basically, I don't get to see him often.
It must be hard.
At first it's hard, but I got used to living away. And then I mean it's good because like we live in a world with social media, so there's a lot of ways to get a hold of
That's
him.
a blessing. That's a blessing as well. I have a confession. I live in boarding school, but I sneak out every week with the help from my parents.
Oh.
You know what they'll do? Somehow my car, you can actually remove the seats, so you can just like stick in from the bonnet.
Oh wow. So you snuck
So
in there.
yeah, like my parents will come, and they will like, macam korang nak visit lah, hand me the food and whatnot. And I will like, can I just go back to the, okay.
Oh, so they smuggle
I just
you out.
Yeah, they smuggle me out. So I just like pull out from the, pull out the seats and I get inside the bonnet and then ta-da!
Oh,
The last
that's
thing I know, I'm at
sweet.
home. So yeah, I'm always grateful because they're always supportive when it comes to that. So I don't feel that homesick, but I can tell you some of the sad memories when living away is that I will cry every time because I miss them so much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but surprisingly, my mother, compared to my dad, she's the type who likes her kids to travel far away from her.
I like that. My mom's like that too.
Really? She's like, she would always have this crazy idea, why don't you just like apply this work in Saudi, Like, who would want to work in Saudi Arabia?
Right?
But she would like just like, go and apply, maybe a job. Why don't you just go and work in KL? Because I've always wanted to live with my parents. I don't want like, because to me it's, you can like just, because it's cheap, you don't have to like spend a lot for
and
a
then
house and
mom
whatnot.
cooks for you.
Yes, and then there's always, home cooked food. And yeah, it's being in the comfort of your parents' home.
Yeah.
My mom is completely the opposite.
She wants you to be away, like work on your own.
Yes, which I'm thankful for her because I think in a way she initiated me to become more independent.
Yeah, I mean, I think my mom as well. The reason why I think some parents want you to be away is so that you can, find yourself and
Yes.
to be independent.
Yes.
And to be a stronger woman, especially if you're a woman.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm sure there are challenges, living all by yourself,
Oh my god, yeah.
You're already like, okay, what are the challenges,
Well, okay, because I'm an only child, so
Okay.
of course a bit manja. Sometimes, like when you're so busy working and you just don't have the time to cook for yourself, I think that's when I really miss like having my mom or my dad around because they're always there. Like they're always like, have you eaten? Like they'll always ask these questions. Did you eat? What did you eat? Do you want me to make you something? Like, oh, let me do this. Let me get you this. And it's always nice. But I feel like although those are the things that I miss, but I also realize that I appreciate my parents more when I'm away from them because when you miss someone you just start to think about all the sweet and beautiful things that they do for you that you would take for granted.
I think especially among girls, it's always hard for us to like leave the nest.
I know.
It's always hard for us to leave the nest because the bride would often cry right after the wedding because they know whatever responsibilities is no longer in their parents' hand. It's always an emotional moment, especially for girls. But I think one thing that we often take for granted is that we think that being away from our parents is a passport for us to do a lot of things.
Like whatever we want.
Yes, whatever we want,
Party.
without any responsibilities. But, let me tell you the truth, okay? You won't just feel bad about your parents, but you will feel bad about yourself later.
Well, yeah. Well, because okay, so let me touch a bit about when I was younger, when my parents got divorced, right? And then I lived here with my mother and I didn't have a father figure. I guess at that point it was difficult. And then I thought that because I didn't have a father figure, I could just do whatever I wanted to do, including not listening to my mother, which is not a good thing.
Yeah.
And until today, I feel really bad about that because I wish that I hadn't been so selfish. And I wish that I should have been more of poor mom, she's a single mother, I should help her out instead of being oh, I'm free now.
Yeah.
No, I don't have rules anymore.
Yes. Same here. I have regrets as well. And I wish I jaga the amanah and the trust that my parents have given me.
Yeah.
To take care of myself
Yeah.
well. But, I think I break that trust, As much as it hurts me to see them sad, but it even hurt me more because I see them sad and I'm even more sadder,
Because you caused it, right?
Yes, because I caused it. Kena beringat lah, doesn't mean that staying away, you can do all you want because orang ada cakap lah, orang tutur cakap, kalau tak ingat Tuhan pun, at least ingat mak bapa. Jaga your parents' dignity, jaga nama baik and jaga their feelings. I mean, whenever you want to do something, you ask yourself, if your parents see this, are they going to be proud of you or are they going to be sad?
Are they going to be upset or disappointed?
Exactly.
And I feel since nowadays, there's, we have the internet, there's all kinds of social medias, all sorts of mediums. We have WhatsApp, you can call, you have FaceTime, Skype. And that's how I communicate with my dad all the time. I can't talk to him every single day, but that doesn't mean that we're not close. But every chance we get to talk to each other, we can go on for hours and hours and hours. But because of the time difference, we always have to set a specific time or a specific day so we can call each other. We can't just ring them up.
Yes.
But constantly maybe talk to him once a week. That's how I remain close to my dad.
Yeah.
And never forget to call him. Once if I miss a week, I just feel so bad because I'm oh my god, poor dad. He's probably waiting for me to call. He's probably worried about me. Yeah.
I know a lot of people and I know a lot of you out there, who would feel uncomfortable whenever they ring their parents because I have that same feeling as well, especially when I call my mom because we always disagree to things, even the little things. But you know what? I make it a point. Like it or not, I have to call my parents and ask if they're okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Tak kisah dia cakap apa ke. Sometimes whenever I mengadu kan, macam, Mom, this is what happened to me at work. This is all your fault because you're
My mom
not
is exactly like that.
You're not taking yourself enough. And I don't want to be listening to all this. I just want to mengadu. I just don't want you to come with a solution for me, and
or blame me.
Yes, and we always end up, quarreling, fighting on each other on the phone. But I'm tak kisahlah, janji as long as I call her,
Yeah, at least I did call my mom.
Yes.
And
I will not get the vibe that I want. I will not get the positive vibe that I want. But it's my parents, so yeah, so it's fine.
You just deal with it.
Yeah, and with my dad. Sometimes he talk too loud and he can't really hear me. And sometimes my dad if he pick up the phone, right, he already pick up the phone, but he won't talk on the.
Oh no!
It will take time. Hello. Because
so although I live with my mom still, but because I'm always out working, so I rarely get to see her. When I get home, she's either asleep or something, and then vice versa. So it's basically kind of I'm not with her.
Yeah.
So I do call her from time to time. If I'm out buying some food for myself, maybe I'll be hey Mom, do you want this? I want to bring it home for you and stuff like that. The little things. And I know even though I don't spend a lot of time with my mother, I know she always keeps me in her prayers.
Yes.
And I do the same as well. And even though my dad's far away, I still always pray for him that everything's easy for his health, his wealth, and most of the time for him to get hidayah, because my dad's white, he's American, and it worries me. So I think like it's very important, like no matter what, like you always keep your parents in your prayers.
Yeah, because the one thing that is really amazing and wonderful about parents are how can they love you unconditionally,
I know.
They love you unconditionally to an extent that no matter how much you upset them, they never miss a prayer for you. They never miss a dua for you. And I always know the reason why I'm always well here is because they are always praying back home for me, Sorry, I get all teary talking about my parents because I know my time for them is running out because I'm getting old, meaning they're getting older. And I just pray that one day we'll get to, gather together in Jannah.
Yeah.
In the best condition possible.
Yeah.
Because, Umi, if you're listening to this, you know how much I love you, although we actually quarrel a lot.
And Mommy, you too. Okay. And to all like the kids out there who like are so anxious to get away from their parents and, to get out of the nest, like you might take them for granted now, or you might think it's nothing right now, but really your parents are everything you have.
Yes. Yeah. No, really, I think it's a blessing for me to be able to still be with my parents. They're still around.
They're still alive, yeah.
And, sometimes kids, children, they have this phase, They have this rebellious phase,
I'm one.
And they have this realization phase. But not many get to experience this phase with their parents still alive.
Because sometimes there are kids out there who are orphans, who don't get to meet their real parents, who never get a chance to even have parents.
Yes.
There are kids who parents, leave them or, pass away at a young age and they never get to experience that.
Yeah. Don't take your parents
take your parents for granted.
And yes, I know sometimes it's hard for you guys to express your love towards them because, Asian parents sometimes they're not really expressive.
It can get awkward.
Yeah, it can get awkward. But you know what? You never know. Maybe the last thing is you get to kiss them in the forehead when they're dead.
Yeah, always.
So,
if it's
don't
hard,
be that.
Yeah, even if it's hard to talk to your parents, because I know it is hard. Like it's hard to talk to my mom about certain things. We always end up fighting.
I thought I'm the only one.
No, babe, you're not the only one. Call them, ask them how they're doing, ask them if they want anything from the store while you're there. Sometimes my mom's so busy, and she's at an age where she gets tired very easily. So sometimes she'll wash her clothes, but she'll forget to put them, she'll forget to hang them up to dry, or she'll forget to put them in the dryer. So when I get home and I see that, I'll clean up after her. You know what I mean? Or if she didn't clean the dishes, I'll do stuff like that. So there's little things that you could do to help your parents out.
Yes. And you have to remember, your parents put up to you for the longest time ever, So you have to be thankful and grateful, for having your parents around, and do not be afraid or ashamed to express your love towards them, be it in whatever form. Sometimes they might not be uncomfortable when you kiss them, or but maybe they are comfortable when you do things for them, So yeah.
Sorry. But yes, please always love your parents. Never take them for granted. We do not, especially for the young kids out there, we don't want you to be like us, like how we took our parents for granted and then only now we're realizing that we shouldn't have. Please, time is precious. Your parents are precious.
Yes, and be the first person to say sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, whenever
put your ego down.
Put your ego down and just say sorry. Dia betul ke? Parents you salah ke? Just come up to them and say sorry. Okay?
Yeah.
Sebab really, parents ni paling lembut, paling lah pemaaf among with their kids, with their children,
They might not know how to show it the way you want them to, but they are.
So I guess no matter how big of a car you have, no matter how much property you have, if you don't get the love of your parents, you cannot even smell the Jannah.
Oh, that's true.
Don't be crying when you're watching us. I'm sure you guys are laughing at us. Thank you for watching and hope to see you guys in the next episode. Don't forget to hashtag Hijabae in the city and don't forget to call your parents and tell them you love them. Assalamualaikum. Bye.